Okay, so our today's topic is, sorry, we have seen what is JSON, we have seen what are the MIME types, okay, and this is a creating our own server. We need to create our own server, okay. Then there is one more method called as HTTP dot listen. HTTP dot listen. So first parameter is a port, you can say. So if you think that on a 5000 port it should be running, and one listener, here you need to pass the listener started or console.log started server, okay. This is a basic server that we have created. Cd day 8 and main main just a moment. So we just need a listen method. What listen method will do? It will start accepting incoming requests, right? It will start accepting incoming requests. It would be like this actually. Now let's clear it and see. Can you see server has been started? If you see, server has been started and it will start accepting the requests. A fundamental server you have created. This server says that I am going to accept the request on the port 5000. This server says that I am going to accept the requests on the port 5000. Okay, now how do you get to know server is accepting this or not? Right, just write this piece of code, just get this, and I can say like this. Now can you see set header? Here from in the response you are setting the headers. Here in the response you are giving some data. In the response you are giving some data. Yeah, see here response.status code. We have discussed JSON. Let's have application JSON, right? Application, well, this is also okay, we'll see this also. And here you can say JSON dot stringify, and here I can pass some object. We already have created the JSON object. Just get this and you can pass it here like this, okay. JSON.stringify, and this again start the server. Now go to the browser and hit localhost 5000, localhost what 5000, and hit the enter. Can you see you are getting some kind of JSON response from the server? If you if you go to the network inspector and see here localhost, this request you have made, headers you can see, response header, content type application JSON, content length 47, request headers, right? There were no as such request headers we have passed because we are passing from the user agent, that is nothing but the browser. We are hitting a request from the browser, right? But you can pass the request headers also. We'll see that exactly how do you pass it, right? Now if you look at the URL, you have hit localhost colon 5000, which means that localhost colon 5000, which means that this is your host and this is the port. Now your one web application or your one web server can have multiple web applications which are running on the multiple ports. Means localhost 3000 would be also okay, localhost 8000 would be all, means your port is representing different application. A single port is representing different application. There are different ports on which different applications are running. Remember that there are different ports on which different applications are running. So presently we have done 5000, and which is what we can say, which is returning a header and which is adding simple JSON over here. Okay, now see, return type of this is a const server. You can do like this also. So instead of attaching listen over here, you can do server dot listen like this. So this is HTTP server, a simple HTTP server that we have created. Well, it can return the HTML also. I'll show you. Now here content type needs to be changed, text HTML. Text what? HTML. And here instead of this part, you can start writing the HTML here. HTML, right, and body, right. Here we can say h1, and I can say date is new date. Date is what? This new date. Let's start server again. Now refresh it. Can you see? You got a standard date here. Date is Monday, August, like that. And here you can add one more page division if you want to get input and output, or if you want to have a button, input type is equals to button, value equals to OK. Well, how it works we'll see tomorrow. Just started a server and refresh it. Can you see? OK button. So it has a server is giving you one page called as this thing. Correct? Now we'll not dig more in a HTTP module of the node. From tomorrow we would be starting something called as Express.js. We'll deep dive into the Express.js. How exactly the thing works we will see by means of Express.js. But this is the foundation of the HTTP server. This is how HTTP works in the node internally. And same thing you will observe in a Express.js also. So I'll show you Express.js.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please ask.
So we are assigning port number 5000 for this application.
Correct.
So will it be assigned till we deallocate this port number to different application?
Yes. So you cannot have two applications on the same port.
So if you want to assign this port to different application, how do we do that?
No. You need to stop this server then.
Okay.
By means of port, one port if allocated, that cannot be used for the other application. There is a no way. You need to use two different ports for two separate applications. Means if you have used 5000, you cannot use 5000 again. Otherwise, you will get the runtime error.
Okay.
Right?
So first we have to stop the server, then we can assign this port number to
Yes.
applications.
Yeah, but why do you need to use same port? You can have n number of ports.
Okay.
Right?
So what is the maximum value that we can use for port numbers?
Generally, people, you can see ephemeral ports, ephemeral and well-known and ephemeral ports. If you in a computer science, we have studied this thing, right? Ephemeral port is a two types of port, ephemeral ports and the well-known ports. Well, this can be anything, absolutely no problem. But the ephemeral port starts from some range. There is a range, right? Means that port you cannot use for your application purpose, because that ports are defined for internal purposes, right? But this range can be absolutely anything. As long as your data type is valid, you can give any well-known port. Remember that we call it as well-known port, right? 1024 generally don't give. This is a ephemeral port, right? This is a reserved port. So networking standard says that there are two types of ports. One is a well-known port and the ephemeral port. When you talk about well-known ports, these ports, and the ephemeral port, a temporary communication hub or ephemeral port is that port that you can use for your networking purpose. This one. Yeah, see, I'm just, yes, see, the RFC standard says that the range of ephemeral port should be, can you see, 1024 to 653535, like this, right? Before these ports you cannot use. Before these ports we call it as the well-known ports, right? That ports shouldn't be used. You can use it, but that needs to be avoided. Okay,
Okay.
getting that. And range suggested by this formula, 2 raised to 15 plus 2 raised to 14 to 2 raised to 16 minus 1 for the dynamic or the private ports. Getting that? So you can use this much range. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Fine. So we will continue tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. So tomorrow I would be starting Express.js, and in Express.js we would be starting with the foundations of the Express.js and MVC application.
Okay, sir. Perfect.
Okay?
Okay.
Fine. I'm stopping the recording.